Hey, this is Kenny from Kenny's Audiophile Record Reviews. Thank you very much for viewing my video. As always, if you're new to my channel and video, please like and subscribe. That would help me out. And also, in the description section below, please check out the affiliate links. Some products being sold. I get a commission for those sales. Products like Miles Davis box sets, the Beatles. I get a commission for those sales. That'll help me in my channel going forward. I really appreciate it. In this video, I'm going to mention some jazz fusion artists and bands that were mentioned by some of my viewers in that video I did of the most underrated jazz fusion album of all time. And some of you mentioned some albums by some other artists. So I'm going to mention those artists in this video, maybe 4 or 5 of those bands and artists and a few of their albums. And my audience really made some great picks. So I'm going to mention some of those artists and a couple of 1 or 2 records by those artists in this video. But before I get to that, I want to mention my Miles Davis 63-64 box set, that Live in France Bootleg Series 8. I pre-ordered well before the release date. As of this date, the recording of this video, November 13th, 2024, I have not received my set. I'll show you the set, what the set looks like. I got the box set, the CD box set, and here's a message that I got from Amazon. I think my set might be lost in transit somewhere. It's a good possibility it may not arrive before the 15th, so I may have to cancel the order and order it again. I know some of you are waiting for me to review that set, and it's going to be a while at this point. So those of you who already have the set, don't wait for me to review it, please. Please leave your comments about that set in the comment section below, and I'll just have to leave some comments and reviews about that set whenever it arrives, whenever that date is. So we just have to wait and see on that one. But I'm going to, like I said, mention some jazz fusion artists by some that my commenters in the comments section mentioned in my most underrated jazz fusion album of all time. And I'm going to mention 1 or 2 albums by these artists. And I'm going to start with Jean-Luc Ponty. This record is more of an avant-garde jazz record. It's jazz fusion as well. This particular version was reissued by the Blue Note reissue series. It's called Cantaloupe Island, Jean-Luc Ponty. And it includes George Duke on keyboards, Frank Zappa, guitar. Really nice record. It says here on the front, originally recorded on Pacific Jazz while Ponty was with Frank Zappa's Mothers of Invention. They have some of their records as well. The electric violinist showcased here is an important instrument of fusion between jazz and rock. Features the performances by Frank Zappa, ex-Mothers group band member George Duke, and Ian Underwood. This record, the performance is really good. I give the performance like 8.5. It just doesn't sound good. That's the problem. I will listen to this on YouTube, see if you like it. By the way, I don't play music on my YouTube videos because of copyright infringement issues. They can remove my video. I don't want that to happen. That's why I don't play music on my videos. But I check this out on YouTube for sure. You know, it's like nice notes on the back by Leonard Feather. See if you like the music, but like I said, be warned that this at least this version of the album, this reissue by the Blue Note reissue series, it doesn't sound that good to me. But the performance is good though. I just thought I'd mention this one. Here's another Jean-Luc Ponty album that I'm a little bit more enthusiastic about, at least in terms of sound. Maybe not so much in performance, but it's called Jean-Luc Ponty, Upon the Wings of Music. This was issued in 1975 on Warner Brothers Records. And I'll show you the musicians and the songs listing on the back of this, but there is a great keyboard performance by Patrice Rushen on the first song on side 1, Upon the Wings of Music. And her performance on keyboards is great. She plays electric piano, acoustic piano, synthesizer organ, and clavinet with Jean-Luc Ponty on electric violin. Great performance on this record, it really is. a great example of jazz fusion in 1975, in my opinion. I'll probably give the sound an 8 and the performance an 8. Nice jazz fusion, violin, electric violin, keyboard performance by Patrice Rushen as well. Check that one out. Now this next artist, I never could pronounce his name, but I'm going to pronounce it anyway, but you might pronounce it differently depending on if you're from Poland, the United States. This artist is from Poland, I believe. It's Michal Urbaniak Fusion. Please forgive me if I'm mispronouncing the name. This shows a lot of ringware. I've had this a long time. I think I bought it at a thrift store several decades ago, actually. But this is a very nice example of jazz fusion with Michal Urbaniak playing electric violin. His wife at the time, and I'm going to mess up her name too, and I apologize. You spell it U-R-S-Z-U-L-A. I think it's called Ursula. Ursula, I think you pronounce it. Please forgive me, I mispronounced your name. I'll just show it to you. I'm going to talk about this album in a minute. Maybe it's Ursula. Ursula might be her name. But anyway, she does a very nice vocal performance. She has the same vocal style as Flora Purim. She has the exact same vocal style. Matter of fact, you heard it, you think it was Flora. But she performs on this album as well. You want to check out the first composition, first song on this album called Good Times, Bad Times. And the fusion of her voice, the electric violin, and other musicians on this album is quite great. And it sounds good too. I give the probably, the sound maybe a 8, the performance 8.5. This was issued in 1974 on Columbia Records. And I have the same comment about this one, maybe less so. Michal Urbaniak's fusion is called Atma. Now this one is not as good as the previous album, but it's quite good, is my opinion. It's very good. You want to check this one out too. I just thought I'd mention this one as well. It includes his wife at the time as well on here on vocals and percussion. Check this one out on YouTube. And this is his wife, Ursula. I think that's the way you pronounce her name. The name of the album is Future Talk. She has a great wordless vocal style and scatting style in the same vein as Flora Purim. And there's a song on here called Moon Tag. That's a great example of a wordless vocal style. And another song called Future Talk is a fabulous display of her scatting style. Future Talk displays her scatting style fabulously, and Moon Tag gives you an example of her vocal style on this record. This includes John Abercrombie on guitar and Michal Urbaniak on electric violin, along with some other artists. But you want to check this out. I believe this was issued in 1979 on Inner City Records. Nice vocal, wordless vocal album. Now the next album sounds fantastic. It's a nice fusion album, nice rock, progressive rock album, I guess you can call it. It's called Blow by Blow by the great guitar player Jeff Beck. And this album sounds fantastic. This was issued on Epic Records. And his electric guitar playing by this electric guitar innovator, master, is simply fantastic in terms of a jazz fusion record. There's a song on here called Thelonious. It's quite good on this album, Blow by Blow by Jeff Beck. You need to check it out. But this was recorded and mixed very well. I give the sound a 9.5 and the performance a 9.5. Fabulous recording, fabulous record, fabulous performance by Jeff Beck, Blow by Blow. And the next one, this is just a soft recommendation, it really is, before I get to the best one of the lot, in my opinion. And it's Zappa and the Mothers, Roxy and Elsewhere. This was a 2-album set, a live performance. I think it was recorded in 1974, if I recall. This includes Frank Zappa, lead guitar vocals, George Duke, synthesizer vocals. I'll show you hope it's coming out of video, the musicians on this album. This is more of like an experimental rock, elements of jazz fusion. But on this one, I really like the song Don't You Ever Wash That Thing. And that's a great example. I know it's a funny name for a song, but it's a great example of jazz fusion, I think, on this record by Frank Zappa. Yeah, this is recorded live, but the song, Don't You Ever Wash That Thing. You need to listen to that song on this album by Frank Zappa, The Mothers, Roxy, and Elsewhere, issued, I think, in 1974. Now, the last one I think is the best of the bunch. Like I said, these are user or viewer recommendations, these artists. And this is one of the last one of the bunch. And side 2 of this record, in my opinion, is a masterclass in jazz fusion, along with something like Miles Davis's Bitches Bureau. This is a masterclass in jazz fusion. Frank Zappa, Hot Rats. Side 2 is a masterpiece as far as I'm concerned on this record. And it was a joy to listen to. It really, really was. Frank Zappa. It was issued on Reprise Records, if I recall. And side 1 is good too. It really, really is. I think side 2, that's where the magic is. That's where the music happens. But side 1 is quite good. Side 2 is, like I said, it's a masterclass in jazz fusion. Frank Zappa, Hot Rats. Sound a 9, performance a 9.5, because I rarely give out 10s. Great album, a great recommendation by the viewer who recommended this album. Really, really great. If there's more artists that you would want to recommend, please leave your comments in the comment section below. Like I said, there's obvious choices like Weather Report, Mahavishnu Orchestra, Return to Forever featuring Chick Corea, Larry Coryell, Billy Cobham. I didn't mention because in those videos, because those are obvious choices. I just wanted to, that most underrated jazz fusion record of all time, I wanted to mention something that was truly underrated. And I think records from most artists were, because they were well known. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. You don't know what this record's doing in the background. Rubinstein, fabulous classical piano player. In between this listening session, I decided to take a break and listen to a couple of songs on that one. I really meant to listen to one of this classical artist, this classical master, and to listen to the whole record. I was so intrigued by the music. I mean, those RCA Living stereo recordings are great. That was those who know about RCA records. That's a Shaded Dog version of RCA classical record, and the dead wax is a 1S dead wax stamping on both sides. This piano on this record is not very expansive, but it sounds good. I think the piano sounds coming from the inside edge of the right speaker to the inside edge of the middle of the sound stage, mainly with echo and delay and ambiance going beyond that. But you really feel the texture and the ambiance and the beauty and that beautiful sound of the piano when it is playing at that time. It was almost like listen to Keith Jarrett or something like that. Well, I think a better comp for Keith Jarrett is probably Glenn Gould. Probably that was a joy to listen to. Like I said, I just sat there and listened to it. I was so captivated by that great piano playing and the sound of the piano on this beautiful RCA Living stereo 1S Shaded Dog pressing. But please leave your comments in the comment section below in terms of some of the more obscure jazz fusion artists in the past. Please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. Please check out those Amazon affiliate links in the description below. I get a commission for those sales. That'll help my channel out going forward. Please like and subscribe. God bless, strong love, and more important than the music and anything, please keep the peace worldwide.